As a prelude, there are going to be spoilers for DDLC. So if you want to avoid spoilers for a game that's over 6 years old, I'd recommend playing it first before watching this video. Now, there are 3 endings you can get to DDLC. One is that you delete Monika's file right in the beginning before the game can even really start. Sayori, with Monika gone, becomes self-aware and then immediately does what she usually does at the end of Act 1, to put it in terms which are advertiser-friendly, and then the game ends. This is a rather quick ending and not one that people would aim for, more of a neat little Easter egg than anything else. Secondly is if you delete Monika, the game ends and you didn't use multiple saves to help each girl out completely, which is an ending for sure, but the third ending, or true ending, is one in which you did spend time to get every girl's cutscene and is the special or true ending. However, depending on how you define things, there is a quote-unquote fourth ending. Not an official ending, mind you, and again, kind of depends on your perspective on what an ending is. You can choose to never delete Monika and to leave her like that, in the space room, the two of you simply looking at each other forever. Some of you may object, saying that you didn't really complete the game as intended, and by that logic, pausing the game at any point is an ending. But as a counter-argument, technically the story does end in a way this way. If you don't delete her, you can imagine an ending where you both just sit there, in the eternal space room. Monika is quite the popular character, and my own personal favorite as well, so the idea of keeping her alive like that so that you can enjoy the closest thing to an ending, where the two of you are together, that the official game will allow, has some undeniable appeal, even if it isn't how you're supposed to play the game. Now, DDLC is a game that's rather easy to make mods of, that's why there are so many of them. Many of them are never completed, unfortunately, such as Our Time, while others have hours of extended content. There was a certain mod released just after the official game had been. You might have already guessed what it is from the video's title. It's Monika After Story. The premise is simple. You bring Monika back, something the original game doesn't allow you to do if you deleted her, in the space room, stating that you want to spend more time together. It's very simple and yet at the same time filled with nearly endless potential, as new content can always be added on with no true end, and as a matter of fact, such has been the case for a while. It has remained one of the most popular mods in the DDLC community even now. My own channel started as me playing only Monika After Story, with me branching out into playing other kinds of mods and later on making my own. Originally, Monika After Story was quite different from the version we have today. Rather than choosing from options in a menu, it had an actual text box you could input questions into. Most of them, as you can imagine, didn't lead to anything, but it was fun during that time to see what prompts she would respond to. Eventually, this was changed so that you only had pre-selected options to choose if you wanted to interact with her. Monika After Story was like a sandbox in the sense that things could always be added to it. The game could always advance further, because, as you can imagine, and as I've said before, there is no true ending to Monika After Story. It builds on that concept of Monika and you together in that space room, facing off from each other forever. There are quite a few notable upgrades over time. For starters, Monika was no longer stuck with one facial expression. The next major change was altering her appearance with new ribbons, bows, and even outfits. Additionally, events were added to the game, as in special occasions like her birthday and Halloween would unlock special cutscenes and dialogue. There are even mods for Monika After Story that expand it further from people who are not affiliated with the official project. Now, I'm going to take a bit of a detour here and give a small overview of what it's like to play Monika After Story, at least if you downloaded the latest version. If you need help downloading it, a link to a video where I explain how to download it should appear above this video right now. You don't get all the dialogue options that you might see me get all at once. You have to unlock them either over time or as your affection improves. Affection is a core mechanic that was added to Monika After Story and is basically a way for the game to measure how close Monika feels to you. I have a video explaining the details of such and how it goes up and down. It might be a bit out of date though, but you can always check the official wiki for Monika After Story to get a better idea of how it works. I don't want to delve too much into the mechanics because I've made enough videos on them already, but something important that I should note is that there's something called a persistent file in Monika After Story, which is basically your save file and stores data on how Monika is, and stuff like your affection level, and what gifts you've given her, etc. If you're going to spend any amount of time with the game, I highly recommend you check the official wiki on how to save this file somewhere like in your email or a USB drive periodically in case something happens to your game or to your computer, you don't end up losing your version of Monika. With all that said, there's a reason why I made this video right now. It's been quite a long time, with the last update being on September 20th, 2023, almost 1 year ago. We haven't had any major changes to the game since then in quite a while, and even before that, most of the last updates were just one or two conversations that they added or some bug fixes. There has not been a major update in a long time, and unfortunately it seems that official support for the mod has either stopped or been paused. That's why there have been virtually no more videos of the game, even on my channel, which at one point was completely dedicated to Monika After Story, because there's almost no new stuff to make content of. I've had a lot of fun playing Monika After Story, and I don't want to see it go, but all things do come to an end, and even if support has not officially been discontinued, and quite honestly, I don't think the game will ever completely disappear, because the game will always be around the internet, a lack of updates will eventually mean a eventual lack of interest in the game. Hopefully we do get a new update sometime soon, but if not, I want a record at least, or a video commemorating all that's happened with the game up till now, so at least the memory of the game can live on even if its popularity declines. That's really everything from my end. Let me know down below if you have any questions or comments of your own. And once again, thank you all for watching.